This video is about a conversation Charlie Adelson had with his mother, Donna. The conversation was recorded on or about the same day that Charlie Adelson was convicted for conspiracy to commit murder and the first-degree murder of his former brother-in-law, Dan Markell. Charlie says, everybody, they're all from Tallahassee. And I believe he's talking about the jury. You couldn't throw a rock, Charlie says, and hit somebody who hadn't heard about the case. This is the biggest case, he said, in Tallahassee since the 1980s. What I'm definitely getting in that conversation from Charlie Adelson is that because his case is so high profile and because there's so much publicity, that he could not or did not have an unbiased jury. One of the best and strongest appellate arguments I have ever read was submitted by convicted murderess Pam Smart. In the 1990s, Pamela Smart was convicted for the murder of her husband, Greg Smart, and the trial was sensational. Pamela Smart, who reminds everyone that she was not a teacher, had an affair with an underage student. And she convinced this student and a couple of his friends to stage a break-in into her and her husband's condo and murder her husband. Pamela Smart's trial was a literal media circus. The judge in that case literally cleared out some of the front row seats just for press and his own family members. The jurors, for instance, in the Pamela Smart case, they weren't sequestered. And every day that they walked into the jury room, they passed by a newsstand that was in the courthouse that had extremely large lettering in the headlines about Pamela Smart and about the case. The last thing I'll mention is there was a day that court opened and Pamela Smart's appellate attorneys argued that the judge actually had to quiet down the press because the cameras taking pictures of Pamela Smart were so loud that it actually delayed the beginning of the trial by a few minutes. In some instances, in its answer to Pamela Smart, the appellate court agreed with her that the judge made improper decisions that could have negatively affected her when it came to the press. However, that court also held that the weight of the evidence pointing to Pamela Smart's guilt outweighed any negative publicity at her trial. And I know Charlie Adelson is in Florida. Pamela Smart was convicted in Massachusetts. But hopefully you get my point. And my point is that Charlie Adelson, from what I hear in that conversation, has not accepted the weight of the evidence against him. And until Charlie Adelson can understand that, the weight of the evidence against him, I don't believe that he can make an informed decision about his own future because Charlie's choices are very limited, they are beyond difficult, and they're time sensitive. Admittedly, I'm on the outside looking in, but from what I see, Charlie Adelson's best option is to cooperate with the state of Florida and to give them everything. And if that is Donna and Harvey and Wendy, well, that's what I mean by limited and difficult options. Or not, Charlie has every right to pursue his direct appeal and hope that an appellate court will believe that the jury's verdicts are somehow tainted by publicity surrounding the trial. Charlie Adelson and Pamela Smart aside, what do you all think? How do you feel about cameras in a courtroom? Do you think that live streaming a criminal trial can affect a jury's verdict? So leave your thoughts in the comments. Was Charlie Adelson's jury tainted by TV cameras and publicity?